Okay, here's a wild thought for you. Can hitting the gym actually make you wealthier? I know, it sounds like a bit of a stretch, right? But a massive new study suggests the link between your fitness and your finances is surprisingly real.
Look, we've all had it drilled into us that exercise is fantastic for our physical and mental health. No arguments there. But what if it also had a direct impact on the number at the bottom of your paycheck? Well, that's the fascinating connection we're going to dig into today. So, let's just cut to the chase. What's the bottom line? A huge 20-year study found that people who regularly exercise earn, on average, 6 to 10% more than their colleagues who don't. The immediate question is, how on earth is that even possible?
To get to the bottom of that number, we need to dig into the research itself. So let's start with the big question. What is the real connection here between your fitness and your finances?
It's a totally fair question, because, the connection isn't obvious at all. It's not like your boss is timing your mile run during your annual review. So let's explore the hidden mechanics that could actually be at play here.
So the people behind this study didn't just drop that number and walk away. They came up with some really powerful theories to explain it. And these hidden economic benefits go way beyond just having a little more energy at your desk.
Okay, so there are three main ideas on the table. The first one is pretty obvious, right? Healthier people are just more productive. They show up more, they get more done. Simple. The second is that sports, especially when you're younger, can actually boost your grades and teach you valuable life skills. But this third theory, this one is fascinating. It's called the signaling effect. The idea is that just by being physically fit, you are non-verbally signaling things like discipline, resilience, and confidence to an employer. You don't even have to say a word.
And listen to how the study's author puts it. It's all about increasing your human capital. Exercise isn't just building your muscles. It's building up your brain and your character in ways that make you a more valuable employee.
All right, so that's the theory, that's the why. But what about the proof? To find it, we have to dive into the data. And honestly, the scale of this particular study is just incredible.
The real power of this research comes from its sheer scale. This was not a small weekend survey. We're talking about 20 years of data from almost 34,000 people. That kind of long-term tracking gives these findings some serious weight.
And now check this out, because this is a really key detail. A whopping 74% of the people they studied reported being sedentary. They didn't exercise. This gives the researchers a massive control group, which makes the results for the folks who were active stand out even more.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical, and maybe a little bit personal. The researchers didn't just ask if people exercised, they asked what kind of exercise they did. And it turns out, the type of workout you do seems to matter a lot.
So which workouts actually paid off? Well, the study found a really strong link for individual activities. We're talking about using gym equipment, swimming, dancing, aerobics, that kind of stuff. But what's super interesting is what didn't show a link. Team sports like soccer or basketball, fighting sports, even tennis. Nope, no significant wage connection found there. It really makes you wonder, right? Is it something about the self-discipline of training alone versus the dynamics of a team? The study doesn't say for sure, but that pattern is crystal clear. So yeah, the key pattern here seems to be that those individual fitness-focused activities have the strongest connection to earning more. And this actually lines up with a similar UK study, which also found that team sports didn't correlate with higher pay, but hitting the gym did.
Now, before you run out and renew that gym membership purely for financial gain, we need to talk about some crucial fine print. Like any good piece of research, this one comes with some really important context.
And here it is, the big one. Correlation is not causation. It's the classic chicken and egg problem. Does going to the gym lead to a higher salary? Or do people with higher salaries just have more time and money to go to the gym? This study shows a powerful link, a correlation, but it doesn't prove that one causes the other. The author is very clear that we can't be sure without more research.
And get this, the effect wasn't even universal. When the researchers sliced the data by profession, they found that this wage premium completely disappeared for one specific group, clerical support workers. We don't know exactly why, but it just goes to show you that this isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
This leads us to another really surprising twist in the data. We always think that if some exercise is good, then more must be better, right? Well, when it comes to your salary, maybe not.
No, that is not a typo. The data actually pointed to a potential wage penalty, a penalty of 13 to 15% for people exercising 2 or more hours every single day.
It seems there's a point where you hit diminishing returns, and maybe too much time at the gym starts to get in the way of your career.
So after diving into the theories, the data, and all those important caveats, what's the big picture here? What are the real-world takeaways from all of this?
Okay, let's pull this all together. We've seen a clear association between being physically active and that 6 to 10% wage premium. We know that link is strongest for individual fitness, think gym time or swimming, while team sports, in this study at least, didn't show the same effect. But we also saw that it's possible to overdo it, and excessive exercise might actually ding your earnings.
Ultimately, the implication here is pretty powerful. For companies and policymakers, this research suggests that encouraging people to exercise isn't just some nice wellness perk. It could be a legitimate strategy for boosting the productivity of the entire workforce.
Which brings us to our final question. If all this is true, if exercise is linked to higher productivity and better work, should your boss be paying for your gym membership? It's a fascinating thought to chew on the next time you're thinking about skipping a workout.